hackneyed, lackadaisical, cantankerous, pandemonium. 4 interesting words that have negative meanings. I'm going to talk about what they mean and how to use them in sentences. Hackneyed has an interesting origin story which I'll tell you, and pandemonium was used interestingly by a writer in a sentence involving a pun. I'll tell you about that as well. Do keep watching, but first please subscribe to The English Nut on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. Thank you. This is the favorite word of my viewer Minku Mukherjee. Hackneyed. It refers to something lacking in freshness and originality. Trite is a synonym of the word. Hackneyed can be used to describe a phrase or an idea that is overused. It's nice to see that the OTT platforms are looking beyond hackneyed boy meets girl stories for their content. The politician made the same hackneyed promises again and again in his election campaign. If music directors serve up the same hackneyed tunes, audiences will reject them. Despite it being a hackneyed gift on Valentine's Day, the bouquet of roses warmed Sunita's heart. The word hackneyed has an interesting origin. It likely comes from the name of the village of Hackney in medieval England. Today, Hackney is a part of London, but around the year 1300, it was a village surrounded by grasslands where horses were bred. These horses were riding horses as opposed to war horses or draft horses, the latter being horses bred for hard farm labor. And so Hackney became the term for riding horses. As these riding horses were available on hire, the word hackney came to refer to any horse available for hire. These hackney horses were often overworked, so the word hackney started being applied figuratively to anything that was overused. By the 16th century, hackney was shortened to hack and used to describe writers who produced quantity but not quality. To this day, hack is used as a negative way of referring to journalists who do not maintain high standards. But let's come back to the original word hackney. Now, hackney horses were so widely available, they became a commonplace sight in England. Because of this, the word hackneyed started being used to refer to a thought or phrase that is so frequently used, it has lost its originality and become stale and trite. Here's a quote using the word from author Matt J. Rossano. The hackneyed phrase, "there's no I in team," does have some truth to it. This is the favorite word of my viewer Saranya Agilan, lackadaisical. It means a carefree indifference that leads to half-hearted efforts. A dreamy nature marked by laziness. A synonym would be listless. Lackadaisical is derived from the words lackaday and lackadaisy, which were used between the 17th and 19th centuries to express one's disappointment with a day that wasn't going well. From that, the meaning has changed to describe someone showing a lack of enthusiasm, vigor or spirit. If you don't want to lose your job, get rid of your lackadaisical approach to work. Given the lackadaisical way they played, it's not surprising they lost. The lackadaisical service at the restaurant was made up for by the excellent food. In his book, Life is Simply a Game, author Stephen Redhead writes, "A lackadaisical approach will produce lackadaisical results." Makes sense, doesn't it? This is the favorite word of my viewer Oritra Chakraborty, cantankerous. It describes someone who argues and complains a lot, someone who is grumpy and angry, in short, cranky. You've become quite cantankerous in your old age. When my cantankerous neighbor rings the doorbell, I pretend I'm not at home. The cantankerous debate between the two rivals showed no signs of coming to an end. Murray Gurfein, a distinguished lawyer who became a judge, had this important point to make about the freedom of the press. A cantankerous press, an obstinate press, a ubiquitous press must be suffered by those in authority in order to preserve the even greater values of freedom of expression and the right of the people to know. This is the favorite word of my viewer Debashish Ghosh, pandemonium. It means a wild uproar, a scene of utter chaos, a place filled with the noise and confusion of people who are excited, angry, or scared. With the teacher absent, the classroom dissolved into pandemonium. When the judge pronounced the verdict, pandemonium broke out in the courtroom. When the home team lost, there was pandemonium in the stands. Pandemonium reigned in the parliament after the Prime Minister's speech. American writer and humorist John Kendrick Bangs once wrote, "Pandemonium did not reign, it poured." He was punning, of course. We sometimes use the word R-E-I-G-N, reign, along with pandemonium, just like we talk of kings or queens reigning. Pandemonium can also reign. Of course, this word sounds exactly like R-A-I-N, reign. So the two words are homophones. The writer coupled this fact with another fact, that when it's raining heavily, we say it's pouring. And he came up with the pun. Pandemonium did not rain, it poured. Meaning that there was pandemonium of an extreme level. Those were 4 interesting words with negative meanings. Do let me know what you think of them. If you know some other interesting words with negative meanings, write them in the comments section. I'm the English Nut. Bye for now.